Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage in Springfield, Missouri. It's nice to see. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be a wonderful day. We had so much rain last night. Oh my goodness. So I'm a little tired just because I didn't sleep all that great, you know, when the lightning and I can sleep through a pretty good storm now that we've lived here a few years. But last night I think there was a lot of rain. It looks good because I got a bunch of plants yesterday. I have a bunch of planting today to do. We're going to have a lot of rain this week. This is the best time to get your plants in the ground if you're doing new plantings. Not that any of you care about that, but many of you do actually. But today, if you are a gardener, I kind of suspect you like this stamp set. If you haven't seen it yet, this is in the new catalog and it is not out for regular publication just yet. It is coming in May. But this is what's going to be in my newsletter this coming week. And the cards I made with it are, I actually used some, I don't know, I think I used some DSP from the Easter set that we had a while ago. That was the cute little bunny paper because it happened to be Easter time when I made those cards. So I needed to do Easter cards, so that's what I did. But this is a set that you can do all kinds of things with. Now I'm going to put the camera down so you can see these things better. You can't see things too much when it's backwards. But now that I have seen you, we are good to go. So I'm going to try to do this. Every week I try to do this. It's like, will it work? Because the camera, it's my fat finger and it's the camera and it worked. Sweet. All right. And I actually think I've got it pretty well established, like right off. Oh, fabulous. Because I have had so much. What's this over here? Is that just a shadow? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Because I take a while to get my lights all really on because there's so much glare down here. Now, here is my website if you want to go to it. It is a little dark up at the top where all of that is, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. If you really wanted to see it, you would. And anyhow, so we are going to do Scalloped Wishes. Now, the thing about this stamp set is that the stamp set is really nice and it goes with the, you know, the dies. And I got this stamp set just for the dies, but as always, as soon as I do that, come on, I downloaded, no, I don't want to do that. Let me get this sound off. It's taking me a minute because I did a thorough cleaning. My husband and I were on vacation and he's coming home in just a couple of hours. I need to get this done so that I am ready to he can have my undivided attention because I flew, he drove, and so it's taken him a while to get home. He's gonna be so tired, I think, but anyway, that's what he wanted to do. It worked out great, actually, I think, for both of us. I got to spend extra time with my grandkids and our granddaughter and her husband. That was wonderful. And then I also just got to do some relaxing here at home, get some cleaning, buy plants, plant plants. Yeah. So I like this because of so if you're a plant person, you know, the little dragonfly, the cattails, very cute, very, very cute. But I'm going to do it with this Notes of Spring. Now this was last month's, so that would have been what? March. This was last month's $5 product available if you placed a $75 or more order. Every month right now, Stampin' Up! Is doing a new new something that if you put in an order of $75 or more in, then you can buy this for $5. Now you can see I've got mine in our old style case, and I've got this in an old style case. I put it with my Label Me Pretty. You will recognize this. This was like super old back in the day when the cling stamps didn't always cling very well. It was a real problem. So the stamps like this are a little funky, but I still have the punch. And this actually fits quite nicely in with the new oval. Okay, so this is the size of the big oval once you cut it out. And then this is the scallop that goes with this Scalloped Wishes die set. Isn't it pretty? And then that's the label from Label Me Pretty. It is a really nice one. So if you're making something for people for Christmas or just a neighbor's gift or whatever, then you've got a cute little label you can stick on there. And that's what I did with this. But anyhow, that's what I'm doing with our new packaging, because I find things from the spine. I don't find it from the cover. So what I did is I took my Label Me Pretty and I just wrote Scalloped Wishes on it. I shrunk these images down as small as I could and stuck them on there so I can see it. And I can see it. You can see this big R is for retired. I don't even bother doing that anymore because stuff retires like in 2 or 3 months, sometimes 1 month if it sells out instantly. Here's the grasses though, so I can see, oh, there are grasses on there and these cute labels. Oh yeah. And then that'll remind me what this is so that I can find it on my shelf. And that's what I did with Notes of Spring. This guy's in his own box for now because the deer is really pretty and I love the duck. So I'm going to be wanting to find this in with my animals. Anyway, so this is the packaging we're getting right now. And it's fine packaging. I love that it's thin. And if you have adapted yourself to the new packaging, more power to you. You're going to get tons more stuff in your space. Like, because look at the space savings here. Okay, I could get 5 stamp sets in this one. I've got 2 stamp sets in it. So, you know, you're going to double the space of your storage system. But for me, that's not important because I can find things and I have a storage system that works for me. So I'm sticking with it. All that just to say this is what we're going to use today. So this is, I don't know if this is probably not available anymore, but I am going to use the one that is available. Okay, because it's so pretty. It is, and I have it in this. This is what it came in anyway, but I just trimmed it down and put it in a shorter one because these are really long. They're new envelopes. They're like, okay, it's nice that they're in big font and all that, but you know, I don't need the big font, and I really need this to fit on my wall because I've got these hung up on my wall. And yeah, it's a die though. Look at this die. It's fabulous. So only $5, people. So let's see what it looks like, all right? Because I did it just to see, okay, I haven't worked with it or played with it. I haven't made anything with it. But I'm going to bring out a couple of new colors. Now this is our crisp cantaloupe. I love it. And then this is our petal, what is it? Petal pink. It goes perfectly with that, doesn't it? Love that. And then this is our peaceful pine. Isn't that pretty? So these are the colors I'm going to be using. But you can see that this die actually, you can pull these little guys up. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so you get to see, but you can see the color through there. Oh, it's really pretty. So we're going to use this sheet that I've already cut out with this die, and then I'm going to run one through on petal pink so you can see how easy it cuts and embosses, because I have heard a couple of people who have had them were unhappy with them. I don't know why they would be. Mine went through really easy. So if for some reason yours isn't functional somehow, just send it back. They'll send you one that's right, because I didn't have any trouble at all. Now this Fabulous Sayings, I think this also was buy, $75 worth of something and you get this. And I didn't even really want it or need it. But it's like $5 for stamps. Yeah. I might use it. I might never use it, but it's stuck up here on my shelf, and it is something I can give someone for free who wants sentiments, because I happen to have a lot of sentiments because I've been a stamper for a very long time. All right, let me see what else we've got in here. Oh, this is the one that goes with Sweet Words and Labels. So this is the one that goes with our sweet friend, the Winnie the Pooh set. And I was curious to see how its frames would go with these frames, because the reason I love the dies in this set so much is because they're ovals. We haven't had ovals in a very, very, very long time, except for just one or two in a set maybe that were too small or not big enough or too big. I don't know. But we used to sell a standard stitched and scalloped and straight edged dies that were oval. And so when we stopped carrying those, I was very sad. But I do think, see, these are going to coordinate with, if you want them to. And there's so many of these. Oh, yeah. That's going to look good. And this one is layered more, and I really like that. But you see, with the two of them, you can do ovals. Now, the reason I like ovals is because without those square corners, whether it's a square or a rectangle, those square corners take up a lot of space. It's just like having a big hearth in your living room instead of no hearth and just the fireplace stuck on the wall or sticking out a tiny bit with a mantle but no hearth. Now, I love a hearth. My husband would never have a fireplace without a hearth. We have a fireplace without a hearth because it's too small in there. We wouldn't be able to have a sofa and a chair if we had a hearth, because our living room, even though this is a very large house, the living room itself is pretty small for the size house it is. And then we've got tons of books in there. So anyway, that's what I feel like about squares. I do like circles are okay, but they tend to be super fat. And so ovals are like my go-to if I can do it. And I've been just not using them a lot because we didn't have any for quite a while. So I'm really happy to have these back. All right, so you have heard about all the wonders of these two sets, but I just wanted to make sure you know this one might not be available. This one just today is still currently unavailable, but by the time my newsletter comes out, probably they'll be back in or very close. Now let me show you the, this is our crisp cantaloupe. I love these new stamp pads. The magnetic stamp pad is only available in our new in colors. Again, this is coming on sale to you if you are not a demonstrator, and you should join me and become a demonstrator so you can buy all these things before they sell out. I'm sorry, but they do. That's why this is temporarily unavailable, is because it is sold out. And this was an online exclusive, I think, but we got it in the pre-order. So this should be available, and I believe it is not, but it's just temporary. It'll be back in. I think, I'm pretty sure. Crisp cantaloupe, though, the magnetic pads just snap back together like nothing. It's so sweet. I can't lose those, and I also can't, I'm not getting ink all over my fingers every time I touch my pad. I would always get so much ink all over on all the old ones. I still am. And especially when you're trying to close those other ones and you're grabbing right by the pad and pulling it, it's just really a pain in the neck. So this is so nice. Gotta really love these. I won't be happy about having to spend the bucks to get all the new ones when they are available in all the colors, but I will be buying them eventually just because. All right, so what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna use our little, I want to stamp out our little doe, and I want to stamp out the little goose. He's so cute. Then we're going to stamp the labels, and we're going to cut them out, and then we'll put them on a card. Isn't that beautiful? There's actually a few things you can do though with these dies because they are so nice. There's two. There's a little one and a big one. There's a wonderful dragonfly. We might do that instead of the goose. I might save that for later, but the doe is too cute. And the dragonfly's got 2 bodies. Not funny? So you could maybe make him a little stiffer. There's a little dragonfly that goes with that one, and then there's this dragonfly. No, that doesn't go with that one because I think it's too big. Where's... No, it does. It puts little... No, those are just holes to get him out. Okay. I was confused for a minute. There are little extra leaves for your plants. There's your grass and cattails dies. There's a couple of flowers. All right. Get tons of things, but right now I want to just, oops, let's put you back in there. I don't want to lose you, and then we are going to stamp. So my cards that I'm showing you today, yeah, I just fussy cut out that guy, and that I used a big oval on this just to see. I was looking to see, this is a retired dies, you know. I wanted to see how it worked, and then you can just cut out around and leave it. There's just so many things you can do with this. It's so cute. I didn't even attach this to a card because I actually didn't care for the way I did my dragonflies back there. I'm not doing that into a card. I'll probably just throw that one away. But there's your dragonfly. Oh, let's put you down so you can see this a little better. Yeah, you could do vellum wings, and I think that would look really good. All right. Well, now that I did that, it's hard to get it all back in here properly. All right, so let's see here now. There are, you know, I'm sorry I'm kind of going on and on and on. It's just there's so many pretty things available coming up. There's wonderful gems. I mean, so get yourself ready. It is not hard to do the $75 order, believe me. One other thing, I forgot. This is not this embossing folder is actually the daisy one. Now we've got a few nice, where is the daisy? I didn't even get it out. Oh my goodness, I put it away. I'm just gonna tell you, I think I showed it and I know I'll show it again. This daisy embossing folder, oh, so pretty. And then I just took our white, you know, stamp pad, the white one, whatever it's called, and just put a little bit of that on there, and then made sure it was good and dry, and so that you can see the flowers better. All right, enough of all of that. Let's go. We're going to do, get my colors. I left them over here. First of all, we're going to stamp this little deer. And I've got some leftover scrap from a 12 by 12 that I needed to use on some cards. So I'm going to use that because I'm pretty sure this is my good card stock. I had it in the, yeah, it is. Okay, I'm just double checking because our cardstock stamps nicer than some cardstocks do. So you want to make sure you're using the ones that are gonna work. Oh, I forgot. I need to. We're gonna use Memento Black. Now we don't have Memento anymore, but this is gonna be hard for me to get away from because our new basic black is not magnetic. It's not hard to open, but it's a challenge, as you can see. Okay, I'm not getting ink all over my hands, but it's likely that I'm gonna. And if I used it, I've never used it yet. I'm afraid to, because this is ink that's more permanent, kind of like Stays On. Stampin' Up! Is unable to get Stays On and Memento easily. They just aren't refilling orders quick enough. So they've developed their own hybrid Stampin' Pad basic black. But this has to be cleaned, clean it, like immediately. So you stamp, you set it aside to set. It needs to set at least 5 seconds, I believe. And then you squirt this Stampin' Mist on your your stamps, you clean that off. It should clean it off good. But I haven't even tried it because I'm afraid to, because of the dry time. I don't do dry time. So we'll see if I ever even get to that pad. And I don't know what I'm gonna do because this is not available anymore, so I'm not able to really show it to you, but I am gonna be using it. Kind of like I do use some other things that I feel are slightly more effective in what I want to do. Now, isn't that cute? Oh, so cute. I love that. All right, I don't want to lose my... I always lose the tops of that plastic. You know, it's clear, it's flimsy, it falls down, I lose it all the time. This is one of the cutest sets I think we've had in some time. Really like it. I didn't even get it in time for Easter because I don't know. I don't really remember why I didn't place an order when I needed to be able to get that. Okay, so this guy's gonna go here. Now I have a bunch of Memento because I always buy, that's a basic, that black, and I've given a few away because I think I bought a bunch for a children's class years ago. And then, you know, black actually ends up getting stored pretty easily. So, and I had a lot of ink. I still do have a lot of refill ink. Now this has a color swatch here that you can do. So I told myself I wasn't doing the goose, but there you go. I did do the goose. And you're going to take your fill color. Okay, we're going to use a smaller block. And for the deer, I think copper clay looks really good. It's kind of more of the fawn type color, I think, anyhow. But I do need to stamp it off. So I'll just sacrifice this edge here because I don't think I have a scrap. I'll use this scrap over here. Okay, so I'm stamping it pretty liberally, and then I'm gonna stamp there, and then we're gonna do, that's just the stamp off method to get a little bit lighter coloring on the deer. Isn't he cute? His highlights aren't exactly where they should have been. I've got him too high up there. That's all right, we're gonna live with it anyway. What you can do if you don't like things like that is you can just kind of put a little more ink where you want it, and you can kind of just go right back in with these clear pads. You can do that and get it shaded where you want it to be just a bit darker. Okay, or you can use your pen to do that too and kind of get in there and get it darker a little bit where you want it. All right, and now we're gonna do the goose, but the goose, I did it in gray because it was like pebble path, but I didn't care for pebble path, so this time I think I'll do gray granite. I need the lightest gray we've got for this little goose. He should just be white, and I could just leave him white, but to show you what he looks like, we're going to stamp him off 2 times, and then he'll just have a slight gray look to him. And I want to make sure his little, it's almost imperceptible, which is kind of what I wanted, but it is colored. It is. I can see it. I'm sure you can't. I'm sure you can't see it at all. All right, and then we'll do his little beak, because I don't even think I colored in his beak on my other card. I was just checking to make sure this stamped well. I don't think there's a beak fill color. No, there's not. All right, so that's my trash. Now we're going to take the, if you want the grass with it, there is grass in here. Okay, so there's this grass. There's also the grass in my Scalloped Wishes, and I kind of like both. The reeds I kind of like with the goose. Okay, you can take a goose and you can cut out a masked version of him and then just stamp on. But you can also pretty easily just be careful about where you're inking up your grass and do it this way. So let me grab the Peaceful Pine. I love that name, Peaceful Pine. It's a really pretty green. Okay. And then I want to position this grass like here. So I don't want any ink on this side. So I'm just going to ink up the part that I want. Okay. And I'm going to not worry about the cattails too much because I'm going to be coloring those anyway with a brown. I think I might take my chamois and get rid of the green on that one. That one's pretty strong, maybe there too. Okay, and let's grab, where's a tissue? I just need a tissue or paper towel to get that off there. And then we're gonna, I'm gonna put my tissue here because I don't want any of that on my nice goose. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of cover up my little goose. His legs though I want showing. All right. There we go. Now you can see I flubbed it over there because I was doing that. But that's how you can do that. And then you'll want to use your pen to kind of get in there and color it a bit. But that will get in behind the goose nicely and leave this space for words over here. Now I do really like the grass in the other one. I think just a little bit better. The cattails are nice, but you do have to do 2-color stamping on that, or just wipe off the ink like I did and do it that way. So, all right, so this one has this grass. It's a little shorter. It's quite nice. We're gonna stamp that off and have another nice light version, but I want the stems to be strong there. Okay, we're gonna go like right there. Kind of nice. I think I like it. After I do the cattails, I'll like it a bit better. I don't want anything here above the deer, but I do want the grass on the very bottom. So what you can do is just clean this and dry it really good. Then just get the ink right on the very bottom. And then you can put that right here under your deer. And it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, you can do it as much as you want. Just try to make sure you're just getting the bottom right there. And then you've got your grass around the deer. Okay, these are just the things you do with, just play with your stamps. When you play with your stamps, you find out all kinds of things. There's a little tiny grass you can use too, if you want it to change up the base a little bit, like this. You can go like that. And if you want to put it in, you can do that too. Like right there. Isn't that cute? All right, so now we're going to do the scallop part. So that was the this was the Notes of Spring. Where did I put my plastic? This is what I'm talking about. There it is. Oh, brother. And I just have this out because, you know, I was using it for the grass. I might use it on a background sheet to tie these colors together. But, you know, sentiments and crisp cantaloupe probably aren't going to show up that great. You really want your sentiments to show up well. So if you're going to use the sentiments at all, this isn't bad. A little note of thanks, I kind of like that. I think we're going to use that one. A little note of thanks. So I'm going to use my peaceful pine before I put it away. I'm going to use that with this duck. Okay, so a little note of thanks. That's going to show up really well. We want him up here. I'm afraid it won't show up good enough in my... You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to separate this. Thanks is really large. We're going to do just the a little note of. Now, I've only inked up that part. I did not ink up the other part. And we're going to put that right there above his head. And then I'm going to just ink up the word thanks. This is a little trickier. Okay, I need to make sure I got all... When you're playing like this, you got to make sure you get ink on the whole thing. Okay, and you can use tape and mask off the part you don't want and then peel it off after you've inked, and then it gives you the same effect. But it's easy to do. With these photopolymers, look at you. You can do all kinds of fun things. All right, so now we're going to put that away. And that is from the Notes of Spring. So cute. Well, not just the Notes of Spring. I guess I also did use something from... I used the grass. That's it. The reeds. Now, I don't need this anymore because I don't think... Let's see. With my deer, what do we want to say with you? With the deer, we're going to do Take Care. I think that's a perfect one for this little one. So let's find the Take Care. Perfect for people who, you know, have an illness that's going on, but that's not so terribly serious that take care sounds trite and harsh. So take care is good if they're not very sick. Otherwise, just don't even use it, okay? Because it's like, thank you. I am taking care. I'm not going to be well anyway. I'm going to get well hopefully eventually, but like right now, I don't know when. And take care is like, is kind of like have a nice day. You know, with people at the store, it's pleasant and they mean well and we're happy they're being polite and kind. But if you're a close friend, it doesn't really cut it. All right, now here's the scalloped frame. It's really cute. Yes, I know I have all kinds of strange opinions. Just keep them to myself most of the time. Okay, crisp cantaloupe. I love this color. It's so pretty. We're going to see how it looks. I know it's going to look good with the deer. We'll see how it looks with the goose. Okay, so there's that. Inked it good. We're putting it right there. Push it down really good. If it's going to lift up with, and so if you're not sure if your pans are strong enough to really do a nice impression, just lift that paper up with it. It didn't, so that meant it went really good. We'll see if it does with this one. Sometimes my paper will come up with it, and if it does and it's solid and secure, I will just take my hand and push a little bit up and around, and that will get it good too. Oops, I need all the thanks. I need all the thanks I could get. Okay. And my grass is going to be out of it a bit. I don't care. All right, so this didn't do it either, but that's okay. It's looking good. I love it. It's perfect. All right, so we're going to get rid of this. Petal pink. I don't know why I couldn't think of that earlier. That was really funny because it's only one of my favorite colors. It goes with almost everything. We had such a fun time in California. It was so nice. So nice. Perfect weather, and that doesn't always happen. We left home when it was like perfect weather too, but oh boy, here in Missouri I noticed it didn't stay perfect, that's for sure. We left in a great time because we missed, I think, some really hot and humid days. And it's beautiful here now, like perfect weather again, because our spring's been kind of hot here and there. Now the scallop is exactly the same, it's just little, so I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to do the dragonfly, because frankly, I just don't have room here, do I? No. Okay, finally got. The only thing I have a hard time with is you want your stamps to stay nice and flat. You kind of have to stretch that sheet out to make sure this is all staying nice and flat. All right, now for the dies. I'm going to want to cut one of these out just so you can see what it's going to look like. I'm probably not going to use it. This is the largest scalloped fancy shaped one, and it's really, really pretty. But you can see it leaves a pretty small space in there. So I don't know that I'm even going to use it. I'm going to cut it out, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. All right, but let's set these things aside for now, because I am going to need to bring up my cut and emboss machine. Let's cut my paper first, because I've got big sheets going there, and I need these to be in half. So we're going to cut, oops, we're going to cut this at 5 1/2. Okay. And we're going to cut our petal pink at 5 1/2. And my peaceful pine I've already got cut. I think I might cut it, I've got it at 5 1/2. Let's cut it at 4 1/4 so that I can use it with 2 cards, since we're apparently doing 2 cards. And I guess this will work fine. All right. We're good for now. All right, let me remove everything so I can get my machine up here. Oh, I know. I think somebody said they had a hard time getting this die through their machine. Now mine's pretty well used, so it's likely that it's compressed some. I mean, I haven't bought another base plate down here for I don't know how long. That might make a difference how new your machine would be. Today I'm going to use my very bowed top cutting plate. I keep thinking, I need to throw this away. I've actually got several plates. I keep them handy. Sometimes when I'm with you, I use where is it? I've got it here. Oh, here it is. I use this one. It's fairly new, so you can see through it. And it's nice and straight. Well, it's getting a little curved, too. Once it gets curved more, I'll throw this one away. But I kind of like having a curved plate like this. And there's a couple of reasons why. If you've got a very fat die that's going through, it can be useful. Now I'm going to use the lighter pink, petal pink, and we're going to cut this. Oh, you know what I need to do first? I need to use a dryer sheet to do this, because I haven't used a dryer sheet on it, but the dryer sheet technique really helps all those little holes fall out really well. All I have to do is remember, where are my little dryer sheets? I know I've got a bunch somewhere. Is this it? Yeah, these are it. Papers for doing, no, that's papers. I don't even need that. I need my dryer sheets in there. Well, my dryer is downstairs, so I'm going to just go grab a dryer sheet. A plastic package I could put the silly dryer sheets in, and I haven't done it. Okay, so we're going to use the dryer sheet, and we're going to just run this through. I'm going to fold this over just to make this easier, and then that is going to help a lot in keeping this thing cutting out well without, you know, making too big of a mess here. All right. So there you go. It actually did that one pretty well. I'm going to have to clean all this off, so hold on a second here. That is the part that's not going to be too terribly easy. It's embedded in there pretty well. Okay, very good. Now, got most of that off. I need to do another base plate, but this one miraculously is staying straight. Usually this bottom one doesn't. I've been hanging on to that thing. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, I could do it this way, but I kind of hate to, but I'm gonna anyway. All right, so we're putting it right there. And because this is bowed, this end is going to slide in a little easier. And I do think that does help with these fat. My arms aren't as strong going in this direction. I'm going to run one time backwards too, just to make sure that's come through really good. And then we're going to see how that went. And you're going to love it. Because I don't do a lot of dies with all kinds of tons of little dotted holes. They make a giant mess. And I'm not ever thrilled with that. But look at you. There's hardly any left. There's a few left here and there on the ends. Because you see, with this little tool, I can poke all those out, sure. But who wants to stand here poking these out? I could do it at night, I suppose, but not really, because it's dark in here when we're watching TV, and I gotta be able to see what's clogged up and what's not, and it's hard to see through here sometimes. Looks like it's all clear. Whew, which is amazing because that is a lot of tiny little holes. All right, I'm putting this guy. I'm not doing another one. I'm only doing one because I've got the white one already done. We're going to use that. And this part has to be done too. Okay. This is the part that's a little tedious because there's almost nothing you can do. You can keep running these things over it till, you know, your arm is sore and not all of the little holes are going to be out. But scraping it on the back side, once you kind of push some of them along, does help. And then so I did have it on there resting, but now I'm kind of doing it without so that the little bristles can actually kind of force their way in there. And at some point you just have to give, that's it, I'm done now. And I'm back to this, but not too much. There's a few. For the look, this is actually fabulous. It is a little time consuming to do all of this. This is called weeding. If you have a cutting machine, they're notorious for leaving little hanger-oners. The hanging chads, if you're voting, the old-fashioned way, which is, in my opinion, the correct way. And, you know, weeding is not ever fun. You could, I suppose, pay somebody to do it. You have some small child that you could trust with paper and a picker. You could probably pay them a minimal amount to do it. Kind of like weeding your garden. So it is a little bit tiresome, but it's worth it. Believe me, it's worth it. This is so pretty. And again, even if you've got a cutting machine, you're not going to get the embossing for one thing. Well, I do have to say there are cutting machines that do give embossing. I forgot that they do, but they're not going to be the same because the needle that cuts there doesn't push. It cuts. And there is a push, but there's not, you'd have to have like a multi-needled machine to get the effect that you're getting with these embossing plates. So still haven't really found a substitute for the old fashioned roller embossing and cutting machine. It's pretty handy and it's not electrical. I kind of like that. It's very simple. Wow. I thought I was going to have better luck here, but yeah, this is a little time consuming. So I apologize, but it is worth it. And this is why I do videos like this, to show you exactly what you're getting. You're not going to be surprised by what you get. And I appreciate that from the people that I learned Stampin' Up! Stuff from long ago, before Stampin' Up! Was even a company. Probably just a memory in somebody's dots world who was doing the dots company with me. Or something similar. All right. Or, oh, the memories thing too. There was a big memory one, huh? Now what I do to get these flower petals to stand up, because I do want these to stand up some. Okay, what I'm going to do is take my little tool, whether it's you won't be able to do it so easily with this one, although there's a paddle, I guess you could use. You could use that end. You can also just, I bet a lot of you have the old-fashioned embossing type tools. Okay, that will work too. Just make sure you don't poke it through. You don't want to poke it. Our Pick a tool has that. Okay, so you can use that, and then you're going to just push through where those petals are. It's not going to, it shouldn't rip it. You're just doing a little poke, poke, poke. And I'm not doing all of them. This is a little time consuming, but it's pushing it up. I want to do it around the edges that I know will show, because I'm going to have an image in the middle of this card, so I don't need to worry about the middle part, just this part. So when I push it, I'm just kind of catching it with my index finger on the other side, and then kind of give it a little tug, and it should stay. If it doesn't, oh well. It's like a regular flower petal that kind of has a little life of its own, doing its own thing. When we were in California, we did not go to a garden, but we walked around their block, which is always amazing to me how many things are blooming in April. And there was even a nice cactus blooming, which shouldn't surprise me. It is the time of year for that, but it was real pretty. And then the grasses too. I have to be careful of grasses here. I planted 2 grasses in a pot to observe what I knew what the plant would do, because I had those in Washington State, but I wanted to observe what grasses do in the ground here, because it's green. It's like seriously green, and I don't want anything escaping in the garden. I got enough crabapple grass, or Bermuda grass actually out there to grass up anything I possibly could want grass with. And that is a problem already in the garden. So I didn't want any extra grass from these grasses. The plant companies sell you, forgetting to mention that they seed and can escape maybe from stolons underground. It's like, seriously, why didn't you tell me about that? It's like I kind of need to know. So the upshot is never put in a new plant unless you can see it's kind of a wimpy one. If it's especially pretty, it's probably wimpy, and you won't have to worry about it. If it's vigorous, beware. Ask a neighbor or a friend first. Before you put it in your garden, put it in a pot first. If it's a mint or an ivy or anything with a vine, put it in a pot and then watch it. I wish I'd followed my own advice when we moved here, because I think that what I thought was a good wisteria and not a Chinese horrible invasive type wisteria. It wasn't the kind of, it was supposed to be a nice one. Well, I think Jeff's going to have to go out and spray that sucker again. It actually is doing better than I thought. In the spot it was, I can hit it with Roundup pretty good. And I did. He did once for me. All right. Look at you. So what you're going to want to do once you've finally done all that, it's a little laborious, I know, but you can put it on a coordinating color. See? This is going to be so pretty. Now, thank you, Erica Serwin, for doing a card like that, because with that background, because I don't know if you used Petal Pink, but I suspect you did, and it was so pretty, because I've been waiting to see what kind of background do I want to do with this die, because you just lose all of the wonderful detail of it if it's not on a color. But when I put it on the Peaceful Pine, it just, I don't know, it just wasn't the same. You can see that really well, but I didn't really like that all that much. So putting it on that crisp cantaloupe is really a good plan. Just stay tone on tone. Oh, let me get rid of this. This is such a mess. I am a little neat freak. I am so sorry, but I just am, and so this sort of thing cannot be. It just cannot be. All right. That helps quite a lot. And that is set. Now we aren't going to need that again. That thing is good. We're going to cut these out though with scallop die. All right, so let's get you out of the way. Did you get bumped or something? I don't know. All right, so now we're gonna put these there. We're gonna get out our scalloped die. So remember, if you like this background, it's the $5 thing that this month only. Well, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. It's until supplies are gone. But I suspect that one's going to go pretty fast. So it's probably just through this month. But I'm pretty sure it's still available. And there would be the other, this Notes of Spring might still be in there. I just don't know. Did not look at that. Okay, so we've got that one cut out. We'll cut out the deer. You just need to get it lined up good. And that takes just a minute when you've got, you know, so many little angles. It takes just a minute to make sure. Got all of them in. Because as soon as I get one side correct, the other side's kind of off. All right, the other thing I like about this, having it bowed, okay, I can use my clear one, but let me show you what happens. When I put this one down that's nice and flat, sometimes it touches that die and shifts it, even with my magnet. If it's bowed up at all, it actually protects that from happening, which is pretty funny actually, because some dies are really gonna need that flat on with your plastics. I've got it there, but I'm ready to switch it out, but I am still using this a lot. And I keep thinking it's going to be the last day with it, and then it never is. All right, so we're gonna cut out with our crisp cantaloupe. We're gonna do a couple of these. Oh, these are so pretty. So pretty. Do I want a couple? I think I'm gonna just do one because I'm not gonna use, I know I won't be using it with one of those cards. Just, I might not use it at all. Now that one actually did a pretty good job of getting rid of all of those. And then if you want to save that, you can. I probably will throw it away, but if you think you will use it, hang on to it. You might want to even use it on the background of, you know, your label that you're creating here. Okay, so that's that. Now we can put together this card. Let me get my little pokey tool. Where are you, little pokey tool? There you are. All right, I just use my pick a tool tips mostly. I'm so lazy. All right, very good. That's perfect. It does have, you see this too. I could even just use that, but I put sometimes a pretty good amount of weight in that whole endeavor. All right, so what we're gonna need to do for sure, oh, let me clean this guy out. We'll just do it so you can see. Yes, it does work actually really well. I'm just lazy. Oh, there's one I missed. There. All right. We went to the beach while we were in California, and it was really nice, really nice. And I didn't expect that. I took my swimsuit along, and I kind of was thinking the place we were staying in was going to have a swimming pool. So that is why I took my swimsuit. I don't even, the beach is great. My husband grew up there. He loves the beach, loves it. I used to love the beach, but now it's smelly. I get sand all over myself. My son-in-law, who grew up around the beach, I believe, he doesn't like the beach that much either. So I know we're not going to be doing it with him. But our daughter knows how much Jeff loves the beach. So she made sure we had a day at the beach because I told her, yeah, I confirmed what she already thought. We need to do the beach. I don't want to. One time we went down there and didn't even go to the beach. Now this is tricky to cut once it's done. So my recommendation would be to always cut it the size you want it and then emboss it. But I didn't do that. And so now I'm going to have to trim this thing down. I want it to be on top of a piece of crisp cantaloupe, which this crisp cantaloupe might end up being on top of this. So what you do, first of all, you're going to take your colors and see, is this actually indeed what I want? Do I want it like this? So I'd have my peaceful pine under there, and I'd have this here, and I'd have this here. No, I don't really need the peaceful pine. I think it looks pretty good even without. Let's look and see, do I want it without? And now I'm thinking I kind of want it with the peaceful pine after all. That will shrink everything down quite a bit because peaceful pine then is going to stay, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch size. And petal or crisp cantaloupe is going to shrink to 4 by 5 1/4. Let's see if we want it bigger than that. That's going to give you pretty good edges. You can have a smaller edge if you want. This is going to shrink way down then, you see. Because I do want to see that crisp cantaloupe color underneath, which is fine. It's a pretty good sized label, so it works. I might need to position the card like this to get it in. All right, but this I'm not going to cut as narrow as all that. So first of all, I need to get rid of this edge. right here and even that edge up. Just don't push hard. Gentle, go over it a couple of times, super gentle. Otherwise it's going to tear. And now this side we're going to do at 3. It would normally be a 3 and 3/4. I'm going to edge it up a 1/16 from that. Okay, we're going to just gentle. And then I'm going to push this down here again, and one more time in the same direction. Gentle, gentle. And that'll get that off. Okay, and now same thing with this. We're going to go not at 5 1/2, not 5 1/4. 5? Is that correct? Yeah, because this is 5 1/2. This is 5 1/4. So we want it at 5. You know what? I'm going to go a little bit bigger because I don't want to cut it right where those scallops are. If I cut it where those scallops are, it's not gonna lay nice. So don't cut it right where a scallop is. We're going to churn it and trim it a little bit, 1/16 bigger than 5 and, oops, I'm going to go away from me. I'm able to control it just a little better that way. And I'm feeling some, when I'm going through here, because there's all those holes, if you feel any tearing happen, stop and lift and do gentle, gentle, gentle. You can do this that way. It's challenging. So if you just cut it before you emboss, then you don't have to be working it like that. Oh, so pretty though. That's going to be gorgeous. Now let's do this white one. All right, now the white one I want on a piece of crisp cantaloupe. We've got it at 5 1/2 already, so I'll cut this at 4 1/4. And now this one we're going to cut. Let's just cut this edge first. Okay. And this edge we'll cut like that. And now we're going to cut this at 5 1/4. That's pretty good right there. I was able to pull it to me. That doesn't always work. And then at 4 inches here. It's pretty flat. I didn't get all of the little, there was no little pieces there on that one. Let's see if that's good. Oh yeah. I love that. So pretty. All right, and now we can get rid of all of the trash. Where's your favorite place to go vacationing? We just go visit our kids because they don't live here in Missouri. So this year we're gonna get to go and we might even get over to Tennessee this year because wanted to since we've lived here. We've gone a variety of places. Have not gone to Tennessee yet. It's so close to where we live, and we did a camping trip with one of the families last year. Well, not one of the two. The boys and their families, and then extended family. Oh, it was so much fun. But it took out the whole month of July for us, because for us to travel places and then come home and all, I'm really worn out. It's very tiring. Now what we're going to do is take this with the deer, and let's have a little peek and see what we like. See, that looks really nice. It's real pretty. But I don't really even need it. It's fabulous without. I'm going to put it with it. Let's try the geese. I might like it better with the goose. No, because I can't get it in there very well. So the goose is going to have to just stand alone. Okay. Match that up. Anyway, it looks wonderful. I can use, I could use glue and get myself all sticky, but today I don't feel like it. I'm not getting sticky today. I'm going to use my, this paper I keep in here. I have it, papers for doing stamp and seal and watercolor. It's the back side of our old sticky sheets. Okay, we used to have these, this is the tacky part or the regular paper part, and this used to be on the cling ones, okay, because it doesn't stick. So turn your piece over on a scrap of that. If you have any laying around, I save all kinds of garbage. I'm like a little hoarder. And let's see if my stamp and seal will work. This one's feeling like you're dead. That one must be gone. I need a refill on that one, so I'm going to put that one up. This one's probably alive. I hope. I haven't. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. That's why it wasn't. Is it? Is it sticky up there? Oh my goodness. I'm probably totally messing up my stamp and seal. You know what? I am. I think I'm messing up my stamp and seal because they were working. There, I gotcha. Just took a while to get it going. It's been so long. Okay, so you can get all your stamp and seal on here. It tends to stick to my fingers just as much as the glue, but it does come off of my fingers a little easier than glue does. All right, so once you've got your stamp and seal on there, it is going to stick on those holes, but there's a way out of that too. It's just the getting it onto the paper once you've got, wow. All right, I can do this. I can do it. Our granddaughters are so small. They are delightful because they say all kinds of fun things. Okay, so I have this tack remover thing. I've got my rubber cement one, and I've got this, you know, glue remover. Either one will kind of get rid of that excess tape that's stuck down in those holes if you've used your stamp and seal like I just did. It is faster. It's a lot neater on your fingers, a lot neater. Every time I use this, I always think, why am I using glue all the time? Because seriously, I don't like glue all over my fingers constantly. But I don't like sticky anything all over my fingers. Our granddaughter, who's the least meticulous and fussy, she's not at all fussy. Surprisingly, doesn't like sticky on her hands. I'm a neat freak. So when my kids were small and they were eating, I would sit there when they were this little age, you know, up until they're about 3, really, 2, maybe, depending on what they were eating. And I'd sit there with the wipe and wipe, because it's easier for me to do that than to clean off this absolutely horrific high chair, table, floor, etc. But so I don't know, maybe that's partly why our daughter never cared so much about that, but anyhow. So all the places that there's space, do your glue. It's going to have to lay flat, so don't try to do it where there's holes and where those petals are raised. You're going to have to try to do it on the edges, because the edges are what's going to pull up. So there is going to be some glue oozing. There's just no way you can avoid that. Don't worry about it. And then we'll put this on here. And shift it a bit, although not much. Wait, that's not right where I want you. Right there. All right, very good. Once you've done that, pull your petals up again a little bit, because they're going to want to push down. But if you've pushed them up, they are going to pop back up. Okay, I only popped up a few of these white ones. All right, now I think we're gonna do the one with, we're gonna do the deer on this one. Okay, we're gonna need something with him. I'm gonna think about that. Let's do this part first. We're gonna glue the crisp cantaloupe down on the peaceful pine first. Oops, got glue there. Okay, and then we're gonna glue our petal pink right on there. There is something coming. Oh, I need to look and see if it's in yet. In our pre-order and coming in May, our Wink of Stella in colors. In colors, Wink of Stella. I love Wink of Stella. I kind of stopped using it because I so overused it. The first 3 years that we had it, I put it on everything. So wonderful. And then I thought, I don't need everything shimmery. And so I stopped, and then I haven't used it a lot. I didn't even use it for Christmas probably the last 2 years. But color ones, get ready for lots of shine on your cards with Wink of Stella with colors. Isn't that cute? We just need to do the duck's beak and his legs and the, few things. So now for the little, that beak's pretty small, but I think we'll just get our crisp cantaloupe out. I think it's not quite the right color, but it's gonna work good enough. Okay, it's not gonna do his legs. I kind of wanted to do his legs because a duck's legs should be an orange. I've got an orange. Now see, here is where my Wink of Stella might work. Because I got a gel pen. It's pretty vivid. But half of them are all dried up. I've had them for a long time. I never use them. So it's like, I think that one's dried up. Where are my oranges? I got a bunch. Let's try to find one that's gonna work. They're all pretty dried up. I guess I probably have a... Come on. One of these surely must work. That one kind of works. Or it was anyway. Let's try this one. That one's working. It's pretty vivid, like it's... Yeah, it's on that ink. It just doesn't want to... It does not want to grow to... There is... You can do pencil. Okay, if you're having that problem like I am, you can do pencil. Where are my pencils? I don't know, but I've got... Oh, here they are. I bet they're right down here where I had them originally and moved... No, they're not. Oh, I put them in my cabinet behind me. That's right. So brilliant. Let's try a pencil. Well, that's just not really working either, but it's better than it was. It's giving it around the black a hint of orange. And then I'm going to make his little beak a little more orange too. And we really need help with that cattail. The cattails just definitely need to be brown. And we'll put a little one here too. So I had a little smudge going there. And then these are grasses actually. But we'll try to get those fluffed up a little bit there. And then you can take your pencil that's greenish, whatever green you want, to kind of smooth out your stem. If it's kind of fuzzy like mine was. Okay, oh, I love it. So nice. Do I need to do anything with this one? No, it's looking pretty good. Maybe I'll take this and do a bit of a shadow right here. That might not be bad. Okay. All right. And that's that. If you want to be a little more meticulous, you could take a tiny bit of gray, do a little with that. I don't think you need to. The other thing that I think would really take this over the top in a good way is take your marker or pencil if you're not sure of yourself. Now, I don't think, since we're not doing markers anymore, I don't have a marker that's Peaceful Pine. But what have I got? This one's Tranquil Tide. Might work. I do kind of want it to actually be green. There's Garden Green. I'm going to test it on my scrap and see what color are you. It's not quite right. Ah, Tranquil Tide it is. So we can take the brush end and we're going to just put that scallop in green. You're just coloring the edge of your label. Okay, and then I think that's going to tie in that Peaceful Pine really well. This is why I was really sad that they did discontinue. Why aren't you buying these, people? If you'd been buying these markers, we wouldn't have lost them. But apparently I'm the only one. I'm 1 out of the 10 or 100 in the world. I don't know. I always bought 1. I usually didn't buy more than 1, but I would buy all the in colors in the markers. I'm pretty sure every demonstrator did. They should have been. I don't know why they wouldn't. They're wonderful. And demonstrators do all kinds of stuff, so I have a hard time believing that they didn't. But certainly not enough of us did. And so now they're gone. You do have your alcohol pens, but you can't do what I just did with those because they bleed too much, which is wonderful when you're blending, and that's why they're called blending pens. But there you go. So Tranquil Tide is the closest color we've got. And now I can see that label so nicely. There's got to be a nice green ribbon to go with it, right? Because it's an in color. And so let me grab that out. If I can find my scissors. That are my good snips. And I don't think we're selling these snips anymore. I'm not sure if we were in the same boat with the snips. Could have been. I'm going to be liberal here and cut a pretty large piece off. I think I'll just go ahead and grab my, well, let me think about this. There's our ribbon there. Do I need a ribbon on this one? I think if we do, we're going to do it this way, and I'd like it to be thinner. These are pretty big, but I think it'll work. We'll do the crisp cantaloupe on this one, and we've got a really pretty, I don't know when this one came out, but actually it's not crisp, it's petal pink, and it's got a scalloped edge. Ooh, it's really pretty. Love that. So we'll use that. Okay, so we're going to just tie a nice bow here. And that's the trick. Oh, you people who tie your bows so nicely. I have watched so many YouTube videos. Do I use the techniques that I learned while watching? No. I just keep tying my bow the way I learned when I was 5 or 4 or whenever I did, and it never is this as good, but I just make it work anyway. It's good enough, because to learn a new technique apparently takes way more time than I'm gonna ever give. All right, that actually worked better than most adventures with a bow. So we'll put you on the side, and then you're gonna go tuck in here, there. We can even put you up a little higher. That'll be nice. Dimensionals, where are you? All right, I am so excited about all the new things. I've got, so many stamp sets I need to do with you. I hope that you're able to find them all, because now, like I said, this one is worth the wait. So even if you are unable to get this one this coming week, when you click on my link, thank you for shopping with me. I appreciate it. Remember, for every $100 or more order you put in, you will get a catalog from me. You will, for the year, you will get a gift of some kind. But you do have to be my customer. If you don't sign in as my customer, then I'm not allowed to see your email address or your regular address either. So, and not even a phone number or anything. All right, very cute. Very, very cute. And so we'll try it with this one. The bow was successful with that one, so what are the odds? You think? I love this one because it's a shimmer. This one's a shimmer ribbon. Ooh, that one is too, but this is a scalloped shimmer ribbon. So pretty, like little scallop socks. One day our granddaughter she likes to wear dresses. Oh, good, I love that. It's like, sweet, I know what I'm getting her. I can get her a dress because I don't buy her clothes. They're girls. They have 2 girls and lots of relatives, lots of friends. And like, I'm not buying them any clothes. They have so many clothes. They'll never wear all their clothes. But there are some things that people don't tend to buy. Like the year I bought our granddaughter a skirt. I think I got her a couple of skirts because I love skirts. They're like the perfect dress. They're good to go. You don't have to worry what you're doing. It all looks good. And it's so easy. Oh, that's cute. I love that. Now, this ribbon sliding around a bit doesn't really matter because it's not on a back yet. So that'll hold it down when I put it on that. And that's going to go right in the middle there. I do really like this. If it had fit around there, I would have put it. But, oh, well, it didn't. So it's okay. Now, the tiny little one... that's going to be super cute for like just tags mostly, like Christmas, like I did for my friend. You know what, we had, when I came home, I had from our trip, I had a sourdough order in with, what did she make? Strawberry scones, and she put real strawberries in them. Oh my goodness. I had one and I wanted 2 of those this morning. It was so delicious. If you live anywhere here in Springfield, check out Irina, I-R-I-N-A, Irina's Sourdough. Pick up on Facebook. It's a pop-up bakery. Oh man, she's good. She only does it once a month, but it's worth it. Worth the wait. So I bought a bunch, put them in the freezer. Normally I would share one of those with my friend Mary Jo. Sorry, Mary Jo, if you're watching, you're not getting one. Because I know Jeff and I were like, oh, seriously, we ate a scone almost every day where we were, and they were delicious, but not quite as good as Irina's. Irina's are really, really yummy. And healthy. They're actually pretty healthy, which is the other factor that's usually lacking. All right, so I've got some base cards already folded and ready to go. So there's one. These are actually, oh good, there's 2 that are in a horizontal mode. So I can put those on and we will be done and ready to go. I'm gonna apply my adhesive on the back. You could put your tape on it if you're what is it? What is our tape? It's the seal, the Stamp and Seal. If you're a Stamp and Seal fiend, then you can easily do it. But I have a tough time. I have to slide this around a bit just to get it on there right. All right, so there's that one, all done and ready to go. Oh, you're so cute. I love these cards. I wish I had done this for my newsletter. Why didn't I? Because I didn't have that Notes of Spring available, and I had those sweet little bunnies still that were or bunnies or squirrels, actually. I think most of them were squirrels, and a couple of them were all punched out and ready to go because the paper came with them. And I think that DSP is actually still available. I was surprised that it was because it was so cute. But wait, that Winnie the Pooh one coming up, oh man, you better get in there and get it. It isn't gone, and I was sure that would be gone instantly. So Stampin' Up! Must have really ordered a lot for us, and that's wonderful. I ordered a second pack of paper right away, make sure I didn't miss out, and then I was able to get this this die because I don't always want the stamp of the month or the product of the month it's actually called, but in that most of the time I have. They've been, the product of the month has been really, really good. All right, so now all we need to do is trim that a bit right there. That one's looking pretty good. All right, so there we have it. Scalloped Wishes and the product of the month coming, I think, this next month for you, right there. And we are done for this week. You have a wonderful, oops, where are you? There you are. You have a wonderful week. I will see you next week with something else new. It'll be fun. And God bless you. And just thank Him each day for all the beautiful things out there. Spring is just springing up all over. So there is not a part in the United States right now that isn't absolutely beautiful with new life. And that's what He does. He's so good. And the new catalog coming out in May. Don't forget, get in there and see what's up. The web page is probably updating. I'm not today. I just mean in general. They have been updating the web page. Should run really well. The search engine is going to run better. All those things. So if there's a problem, call Stampin' Up. They're really good to help you out. All right. Bye.